What is up, Disney nerds? Today, I've watched Five Nights at Freddy's. Not today, but I believe it was on Friday night on Peacock. Because I couldn't get it for free as I work at the movies. I get movies for free. I couldn't get it for free until tomorrow. And I figured, let's review it. Because I did watch it and I was like, I want to review it even though I didn't get the full like theater experience. So yeah, let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, before getting into this video too much, this will be spoiler review. Not know how much I'm going to get into spoilers, but just warning you, if I say spoiler, there is going to be spoilers within this video. I haven't really played Five Nights at Freddy's a lot as a child. Like, I mainly played the first game, that was about it. Played some of Security Breach recently, and I mainly watched Markiplier and Jacksepticeye's videos all the time. Like, I would watch them when I was a kid, and that's basically where I got a lot of the games info from, the lore behind it. That's what always really got me for this game. I was more fascinated with the lore rather than the game itself. And that's why when I heard this movie was coming out like 7 years ago, I was very excited because I was like, the lore to the game sounds incredible, and I can't wait to see that in a movie format. And this movie just disappointed me. I'll be honest with you. I was very upset, and I know a lot of fans are liking this movie, and good for you. Coming from a fan who mainly just watched Markiplier play the games, I wasn't really into this movie too much. I don't know what it was. I feel like it was the PG-13 rating. I feel like if this movie was rated R, I would have liked it a lot more. Or if it got like an unrated cut, kind of like Megan did, I think I would have liked it a lot more. And I know that's what a lot of people are saying, and I understand like why they did PG-13, because like Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a kid's game. Like, let's be honest here, like I was a kid playing it, like it's for kids, and I get that. But this movie feels like, I don't know, like it's just not great, and it's very low budget, and you can kind of see that. I will say that I think the suits look great. I think the atmosphere looks great. There's just a lot of stuff that happens that I don't really like. But let's get into this anyways, starting with plot. Starting off with the plot, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10, unfortunately. The plot just falls very flat for me. I will say I think the beginning was really great, especially like the credits. I was hooked. Like seeing like kind of like the Springtrap, like 8-bit kind of thing, like how they had in the video game, like the side video games kind of within the video game, like taking the kids one by one, basically saying that like he's somewhat like slashing them, you know. So like I was like, whoa, that's pretty decent, that's pretty cool. I was down with that. I was like, wow, I'm hooked, especially like the score. I was into it. I was like, let's go. And what really made me upset is also I had a $30 bet with this girl that goes to my school. She knows who she is if she's watching this video. I was so mad because we had this bet saying that Markiplier was going to be in the movie. And I know he said that he wasn't going to be in the movie, but I thought he was pulling like an Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man No Way Home. And he wasn't in the movie, and that made me very upset. But supposedly, because of scheduling conflicts, yada yada, he was supposed to be the night guard in the beginning, which would have been such a perfect role for him if he was still in the movie. And I could have won $30, but whatever. So anyways, the opening, I was hooked. I was immediately hooked with the opening credits. But then we just kind of get into like, I don't know. As soon as we see Mike, and Mike like kind of beat up this random dude for just walking with his son, I was like, okay, that's kind of just out of nowhere. And I mean, I guess it makes sense because of what happens with Mike, with like, we see his brother was kidnapped. That whole thing where like he was in the dreams was kind of irritating me. And I did like how like they were like all the kids of the animatronics. But I will say one of the main things that also made me upset and mad was, I get it, but like it was the fort scene, and I know that's what everyone's talking about. The fort scene made me just go like, oh my god, come on. Like I was kind of just like, oh, I can't with this, like with the forts, the Pella forts. Mainly because like I don't know, like I wanted this movie to be just the first game. like just strictly have them be the villains. That's what I wanted out of this game. They didn't have William Afton till like the very end, and what I wanted them to do is like have William Afton for more than half of this movie, because they try to do like this surprise plot twist that William Afton was this random dude who gave Mike the job, which like no dur, like obviously that's William Afton, that's Springtrap. Like I didn't get that whole thing. Like the plot itself is generic. It doesn't feel like a great story, and I know like the lore is all over, but like I wish that they made it more flow and not like kind of point, but more of like a story where it's going through and casual, like, and it just didn't feel that way. And I will say, like, when the animatronics were going to like kill this group of people that like the aunt ordered or whatever, which the aunt's completely right. I don't think Mike is suitable to raising this child at all. But like these groups of people, when the animatronics were going to kill them, I personally found that whole scene boring. I did not care. The kills were not graphic at all because it's PG-13. Personally, I just had no care. Like, I didn't care. There was nothing scary about this movie. I know, like, a lot of people are saying it's funny. I did not find it funny. If I did find it funny, I might have liked it a little bit more, but it was very flat and boring. Okay, now visually, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. I do really like the animatronic suits. I like the atmosphere kind of the Five Nights at Freddy's location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria or whatever. But I will say, I don't like the cinematography. I feel like the cinematography looks like something cheap that's made out of like a Disney Channel live action movie. And I will say the lighting is really cool, but like, I don't know, there's nothing really working with the camera quality, the working of the camera. It just feels cheap. And that's really all I can say about it. So I really like the animatronics. I really like the way it's set up, but it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like a TV movie or like a made-for-TV like streaming movie. This feels like a streaming movie. This does not feel like a theatrical released movie, and that's I think that's why they released it on Peacock same day, because this feels like a Netflix original rather than a big blockbuster. Yeah. Okay, for acting, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. Now, there is a lot of great actors in this. Look, we got Matthew Lillard, the classic Ghostface. I think he did great. But there was a lot of... We didn't even see him till, like, the ending, basically. Like, we saw him in the beginning, but he wasn't even William Afton. And, like, he was weird as crap, guys. Like, he was weird. He was not, like... He literally, like, if you couldn't tell that he was Springtrap, dude was on the phone and was like...
Still available. Yes.
What? Like, obviously the dude is Springtrap. And also, like, I didn't really like the way, the spring lock scene happened. I just didn't get, like, enough... This is gonna sound weird, but, like, I didn't feel like there was enough screams or something. Like, I wanted more, like... I wanted to feel like how I watched, like, Terrifier 2 when watching this movie. Like, I wanted to feel like, oh no. But instead I was like, okay, like, I don't care. Like, I wanted to feel like I'm watching Saw 10 and not like I'm watching Goosebumps. You know, like, it felt like too much. Like, and I understand it's because of that PG-13 rating, but it definitely was not what I wanted. And I think Mike did a great job. Obviously, PETA from Hunger Games, he did a great job. Not a performance that's, like, amazing, but it's good. Probably the best acting performance. Vanessa, oh my god, Vanessa was so boring. Her character, I did not care. And then when she died, or not really, when she got stabbed, I was like, who cares? She came back, I didn't care. Vanessa was such a boring performance, and everyone else in this, the only great person in this movie was Matt Pat. Hashtag respect for Matt Pat. That was great. And the taxi driver, don't know his name, never watched his videos, but I know he's a YouTuber. So shout out for you guys, because way to make it into the movie. And if Markiplier was in this movie, would have been 10 times better. Soundtrack, I'm giving a 5 out of 10. Like I said, that opening song, credit song, was great. It was a vibe. I was like, whoa, this is intense. This is like amazing. And then they played like the Tombstone song at the end, which I mean was cool, but come on, that song is for like 6-year-olds. So like, I mean, but so is this movie. So I wasn't really into it that much, but that's really all the soundtrack you're getting. Besides that, there's really nothing. There's nothing great with like the score, except that opening credit scene. Enjoyment, I'm giving this enjoyment a 4 out of 10. Look, the enjoyment's just alright. There's nothing amazing with this movie. There are a few scenes where, like I said, like, oh yes, that's what I wanted, that's cool. Like I said, the spring trap scene, it's not great, but it's good to see in live action, because we haven't seen that ever. Except for like fan-made films or the video game, and that was pretty cool to see. And like the opening sequence, I thought that was the best part of the movie. To be honest, the opening credits was the best part of the movie. And the thing that sucks is it's basically just the video game. That's the only problem with it. Like, I don't know. And then for ending, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Like I said, the ending kind of made me upset with the whole spring trap scene. Seeing that Vanessa survived. And then there's kind of like this post-credit thing where it says like, come rescue me or something, or come find me. And honestly, I think that's obviously probably Mike's brother, because clearly this is getting a sequel, and I hope the sequels are better. They're probably not going to be, but I'm assuming that his brother is going to be like the puppet guy. Don't know really what that's about, but look, this movie was good if you're a kid. That's all I have to say. There's a lot of people that I know that liked it, but most people that I know didn't like it, and I'm one of those people that just couldn't get into it. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a 39 out of 100. It is currently sitting in 5th place at the worst movies of this year. I think this movie was pretty bad. I didn't like it. I found this movie to be very childish and all over the place. But not like it felt like a fan-made movie instead of like an actual Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I want a Five Nights at Freddy's movie that's going to be dark, going to be gruesome, and just like not as vibrant and light. Like this movie, the lighting was so bright until the end. Like, I want darkness. You know what could have been 10 times better for this movie? If it was Mike sitting in the office from one night, like his 5th night from midnight to 6 a.m. and stuff happens the whole night and we're just in his room. Kind of like a one-room movie, build some suspense, have the animatronics running everywhere, and not include Springtrap, and wait till the sequel for Springtrap. I think that would have made this movie 10 times better. Or if you had Springtrap throughout the movie, throughout the movie, because Springtrap was great, but that's the only thing about this movie that was good. Everything else kind of sucked. So that is my personal take on this movie. What do you guys think of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, this will probably be the last video of the Halloween season. So by the time the next video comes out, this will all be gone and we will be back to our regular area. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like it. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe and make sure you ring that bell for future videos like this. So yeah, Digital out. Peace.